So far?
It's been good, but we are live right now. We're live.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to the Leather Tech and Trade Online Summit. We are sorry we are starting just about 3 minutes behind schedule, but that's okay. We apologize for that. We just took some time to get settled in, and we are live. Today's session is going to be a strategy session. Basically, what we are doing is to consider everything that we've been discussing over the course of the past 2 days and, uh, strategizing on action points going forward. And I have with me my very good friend, Footwear Leathercraft. How have you been?
I'm fine. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Fine, thank you.
Yeah, Footwear
Hope
actually
you've been
does
well
quite
too.
yeah, she actually does a whole lot of leather work on her channel, which goes by the same name, Footwear. And don't mistake the spelling, is Futwea. So if you put that in your search box on YouTube, you'd actually land on her channel where she does very, very detailed leather work. So recommended channel. You guys go there and follow. I guarantee that you will learn quite a bit on her channel, and that's really why she is on the panel today. Um, Something she told me in the course of the day is that she has actually gone through two of the sessions that we have put out in the course of these 2 days. And I was talking to her earlier on in the day about some of the action points, some things that she wanted to implement in her own business going forward. And I thought that was a very, very smart way to go about this session. Strategize so that we are not just talking, so that this is not just another talk shop. So I think it would be good to hear the perspective of people who are already in the industry themselves, practitioners themselves, on a few things that they intend to implement um, into their own business, especially from this craft. But before I call her, or maybe let me just give you 1 or 2 minutes to say a few things, introduce yourself, and then I get into my own presentation. And then after that, you can now take the floor. So, Footwear, just
Okay.
say hello to
Um,
our
Hello,
guys.
everyone. Hello, fellow leather crafters. My name is Okevi. I am the owner of Footwear Leather Craft. I'm happy to be here with my good friend again and boss, Mr. Victor. Good to be here. And well, I'm sure we have a very good time this evening. Thank you for being here. And thank you for
Good
having me too,
evening.
Mr. Victor. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, like I was saying, today's session is a strategy session, automation options that I am considering. Many of us started out leathercraft as a one-man business. You're working on your own. You're probably working out of a room in your building or out of a little shack or whatever it is. It's always good to at least start ideating, start thinking of how to expand your business. Sometimes when we think of expansion, you have all of these grandiose ideas that maybe financing it stifles implementation. And I really think that there are low hanging fruits that we can immediately take away from all that has been discussed
Yeah.
and use them immediately to start automating some of our processes. And which is why I think this very session is extremely, extremely important. Before I continue, I would like to ask those of us who are live right now, are there automation ideas that you yourself are already considering? If there are, let's see it in the comments. And after the presentations, we will ask you to, maybe talk about those and so that other people can also learn from you. But let me get right into my presentation. The automation ideas that I'm considering, I would like to break that. Now, this is the outline of what I want to be talking about today. Why am I considering to automate? So that I can do more. with less stress and more consistent results. So, which is why I've titled products. How many more products am I looking at producing? You know, on the first day, Ohepo was saying um, it's no use producing a lot of what people don't buy. And, you know, that makes sense. You're not going to make any more money. But then, how do you know what people will really, really buy? So I have told myself that, you know, stepping away from this summit, I'm going to do some research. The good thing is, I have a day job, I work somewhere, and I come in contact with people who need certain things at certain times during the year. Like I mentioned 2 days ago, that, you know, this is August. From September all the way to November, there is usually a demand for gift items. So there are people who are organizing conferences and events. In fact, all the way to December, there are people who are organizing conferences and events. Those people need conference bags, they need little, little souvenirs, card holders, wallets, and all of those things. So even on my channel, in the course of the next few weeks, you will notice that I'm introducing certain things that you um, quite typically may not see me do. So I'm introducing a much more varied line of products into my business because of the things that I have had Ohepo say in the course of this summit. So, but how many of them am I going to be introducing at the same time? You know, when D and L was here, she mentioned that you can, you know, launch in with a bang and then get yourself burnt. I want to learn from her mistakes. So do the research, introduce, and then use that to build an inventory of products that I will always have at any point in time, so that that will also drive my own sales efforts and my own marketing. So that's one about products. Now, if I need to have so many products to always replenish my catalog, to always replenish my inventory, that means I'll need to produce them at an efficient speed. How fast am I going to need to produce this thing to be able to meet this stated ideal of having a variety of products? That means I'll need new tools and machinery. There are actually, you know, yesterday someone asked the question about, do you need, can you, one person actually learn how to use all of those tools? And my response really was, pick the one that is strategic to your needs at this particular time, and um, channel your energies on that. And I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides what for me is the machinery that I'm actually looking at. One I have already acquired, and it may interest you to note that I didn't have to import anything from China or the US or anywhere. I simply had it locally fabricated for me. And by the time you see what I'm talking about, you realize how, you know, you can start using what you can lay your hands on readily to automate your processes going forward. And then the next one here is how well. If you have a catalog of products sitting with you in your warehouse, in your store, or in your room, wherever, then nobody will need to tell you to buckle up and do the adverts and do the sales and marketing efforts that you need to write the proposals that you need to write, to take out Facebook adverts that you need to take out, if that is where it would be. And if you don't know how to do them, the mere fact of having those products sitting with you will inspire you to go and learn how to do the sales and to do the marketing. So what products am I considering? I'm considering wallets, like I said. I'm considering card holders, of course, school shoes. School shoes, low-hanging fruit that I'm going to be doing quite a lot of in the coming days after this summit. And then something that I know how to do that I have really not majored on. I want to test out female shoes produced by Pomo Bespoke and find out exactly how that will do. And then, of course, refurbish, stock my catalog of male shoes as well. So the point I'm making is that going forward, I'm not just looking to be on made to order basis alone, just once taking orders and simply just relying on orders that people bring in. I'm still going to be doing that, but I'm all of these things that I have listed here, I plan to always have a stock of products ready to go so that they can be on offer for sale, so that at least I can start thinking more like a business person who runs a store as against just being a craft person who makes stuff when people order for them. I hope so. That's the mindset shift that I am adopting as a result of the things that I have had in the course of this session. To think more like a business person who has a store. It only happens that I'm the one producing the things that I need to have in my store, as against just being a craft person who waits for people to order stuff and then I make before those things can go out. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but that is what I have gained. And at least I'll try that for a couple of months, try that for the next 6 months, and see if that is something that I would want to continue going forward. So for me, that's where I am headed. So what are the equipment that I'm looking at? Number one is the hydraulic press. This one here that you see on the right hand side is what they call the arbor press. I actually thought it was going to, this is actually a GIF file. It was supposed to animate, but for some reason it is not animating on the slide. But if you take a look at this one here on the left, this is so easy that I wonder why many people have not taken advantage of this. You know, when Oga Yasko was here yesterday to talk about some of the equipment that you need for automation, a hydraulic press was a chief. In fact, he majored on hydraulic presses because with a hydraulic press, you can cut your leather for shoes, you can cut your stiffness, you can cut, even if you're a leather person who is just making small leather goods and bags, you can cut it. Makes the job of cutting your leather so precise and so fast. And he was kind enough to avail me the contact details of someone who can make the clicking knives for me. So I have this, I've had this hydraulic press, this one in yellow. So this is just basically a contraption, metal and wood contraption operated by a car jack, the jack of a car. And this gives you 5 tons, and 2 tons alone is enough to cut as thick as 2 mm leather. If it cuts 2 mm leather, that means it will cut your fiberboard for insole, it will cut your Nora, it will cut your Mako, and it will certainly cut your front and back stay. So this is something that I'm already in the process for this, and I would actually be shooting videos and experimenting on how much time it saves me using this as against having to do it all by hand. If you need the schematic diagram for this, I can send it to you if need be. Footwear, something looks like it's happening to your network, but I'm hoping that you will come back quite shortly. Then the next one is the pneumatic sole press, a sole press that is used for attaching soles to shoes. You know, I also get that question a lot of times, people asking me how do I attach soles in a very, very efficient way so that they don't remove. Oga Yasko mentioned that you will need the shoe oven, stay away from direct heat. So that is something that I'm also going to be trying in the coming days to take my PU adhesives away from direct heat, but in addition to that, also utilize this equipment, which is a pneumatic press. I have a video. This is actually something I pulled off YouTube. I have a video of how this works, but at the end of Footwear's presentation or Kevin's presentation, I would actually play this video for you guys to see exactly how it works. So the two equipment, I'm not going to be buying all of those equipment that Oga Yasko mentioned. I'm only concentrating at this time on the hydraulic press, which I have already acquired, and he has also given me contact details of where to have my knives cut. All I need to do is to create the patterns of the products that I need automated and have those knives made for me. Then, in addition to the pneumatic sole press, which I have promised you, I'll show you a video of how that works. So those are the ideas that I am thinking about. And of course, after everything, I'll have to now aggressively market. If we are able to lay our hands on the gentleman who is supposed to teach, talk to us on effective utilization of social media for marketing your footwear and leathercraft brand by tomorrow, we'll certainly have him on to talk about marketing. But at this point, I would like to call on Footwear Leathercraft. Okay, are you thinking in a different direction, or are you agreeing with me, or do you have something else that's? I'm hoping that the network will be friendly with us today. But really, those are the directions that I am going. So I'm really planning on taking myself away from the manual processes of doing it. And that's something I recommend for you guys as well. Yeah, so Okevi, I think I'll give you some opportunity to share with us your own takeaways from, wow. Okay, so while we wait for her to sort out her network, I'd like to see if there's anyone who has a... Oh, D&L is here. D&L, if you want to join us as a guest online, really, I wouldn't mind having you at least for 5 minutes. So I'll send you a link. If you want to join in, you can do that as well. So yeah, footwear. We were, before your network went out, I was inviting you to make your own remarks about your takeaways from the few days that we've had already. Are you able to do that now? Is your network working better now? Hello, footwear. I think it has frozen again. Let me see if I can invite D&L, if she will have this. I didn't really if she obliges, that will be fabulous. D&L, I've just sent you a link. If you are in a good place, of course, I cannot totally understand if you are unable to, but if you will, that would be extremely fabulous. So, but guys, what are you planning? I've already showed you what I am thinking. Okay, some Cyril MRM said that he's automated already. Sunday Cyril MRM, he's automated already. Could you comment and let us know what kind of automation that you already have and how that has been helping your processes? Okay, someone here. Okay, let me take some questions while we wait for footwear to come in. Mama de Seymour, I hope I got the pronunciation of your name correctly. She's here, says, good evening and thanks for the session. How much is the hydraulic press? Well, the hydraulic press will be as expensive as things are in your location. In my own case, I told you that I basically just had it fabricated. probably I should show you the picture of it again. So for me, the jack, the motor hydraulic motor jack, cost me just about 10,000 naira, which is how much is 10,000 naira now? Dollar at 900. That's about 11, 10, 11, 8, 10, $11, I would think. And then maybe paid a welder about 20,000 to have it fabricated for me. I'm not guaranteeing that that will be the same cost. I made mine a while back, but I'm not guaranteeing that that will be the same cost that you will get yours in your own location. But please, guys, don't start sending me DM to have it fabricated for you. I'm going to show you all of the schematic diagrams. You do your own research and sit with your fabricator and see what they can do in that regard for you. So this again is the picture of the hydraulic press. Of course, this is not the standard hydraulic press. This is not the pneumatic hydraulic press that you would find in a typical leather factory, but this can work extremely well for an upstart, a startup, and do the job. In fact, if you check YouTube and check Pinterest, you will find that there are quite a number of people who are already utilizing this to great effect. Still.
Network is just.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was muted all the while. So footwear. Yeah, sorry about that.
Network was disturbing. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Network
Okay,
is
so
bad.
yeah, we are ready to hear you now, really.
Okay.
You've been following the sessions in the course of the 2 days, and I was asking what automate or what, not just automation, what are your takeaways and what are you immediately going to be implementing in your own business as a result of the things that you've witnessed and experienced in the summit?
Okay. It was a very interesting session to watch. I saw both of these sessions, and from
Yeah.
the part of the automation, because I work mostly with my hands, mostly with my hands and hand tools, but I'm really diving into the hydraulic press and die cast for proper cutting of
Cut.
my patterns and having my patterns ready on the die cast instead of every whenever I see my pattern old, I have to go and start reprinting or
The creating the pattern.
of the hydraulic press with the die cast to make my work simple and fast for the cutting.
Excellent. Yeah.
And I
Excellent.
really
Excellent.
enjoyed that one because it really touched me, holding, yeah.
Okay. Madam DNL, on your own part, you have any things to say?
Well done, sir. The
Good
section has been
evening.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been amazing. And I'm particularly interested in automation. And but I don't know if it has been briefed that automation is not an immediate thing. Even if it is the future, even if it is something you look forward to, it's not an immediate thing. And there's a stage of your business where you tell yourself that, yes, I need to go into automation. Just like the section we had the other day, when your demand has gotten so much that you know that, okay, this is the time for me to invest into this, because there are so many people who spend a lot of money, buying machines that and they end up not using. That's where you start hearing things like, I want to sell this machine, I want to sell this machine, come and buy, and they will now end up selling it like for a lower price, giveaway price, because they don't even understand when to automate. Because automation is good, but when do you automate? When is the time? When do you tell yourself that I want to go into this? Automation is not for one footwear, it's not for two, it's not for 10. Sometimes it's not even for 100, because this is big money we are talking about, you get. So I want to suggest that sometimes before you enter into automation, you can also consider partnerships with some other people. You might not be able to handle the cost alone. You can tell yourself that, okay, let me gather 10 shoemakers or 5 shoemakers. Let's join together. We can have a space together. We can have this machine together. If you tell yourself, okay, I want to automate, that means, are you going to be cutting for fellow shoemakers? It can't just be only your own supply. You don't have to wait to get the orders before you can say, okay, I want to go into automation. You can say, okay, I want to go into automation. I want to get this hydraulic press. I want to get these cutters. Then you tell your fellow shoemakers that, see, oh, I have these cutters now. I have these shapes. I have these knives now. You can bring your jobs to me and I will cut for you and I'll charge you per piece. So you just have to be innovative, things like this. So I think that's just where I wanted to touch, because many people now, they are excited. Hey, machine, this one, that one. Things are going to be easier. They are just excited and they just jump. They don't want to look. Me, I'm all about the details. I'm all about
Mm.
little drops, step by step. Take it step by step. There's time for everything. Don't just rush into automation. Automation is amazing. It's the future, yes. And again, yes, automation, it gives you this, nice finishing. Nice. The cutting is so nice. It's so accurate. Gives you this, professional touch. Yes, but you just have to take it one step at a time. I think that's all I have to say.
I think it's an excellent point that you made. And if you notice, the automation ideas that I have actually, the ones that I'm actually recommending uh, here are the type that, if it didn't work out, at least it's not the end of the automation process that I'm actually, for instance, I know if I wanted to buy a standard hydraulic press, of course, I'll need to put down some money, but I'm not doing that right now. I don't have the market for it, right? And even if I did, just acquiring that machine alone will entirely alter the idea that I have for my business. I'll have to get a bigger space, really. You understand? I would have to, consider rent for that bigger space and a whole lot of stuff that comes with it. And that's not where I am going. That's at least not the vision that I have right now, which is why I have taken the other one, the smaller one that I can invest in. I can invest 50,000 naira and have that done. That's an ArborPress, right? So I want to know how far, how further can I take my business by using an ArborPress, a hydraulic jack press. Igbo people say it is the smell of something that tells you the taste of it, right? So by knowing how much more I can produce using that manual hydraulic press, I can now begin to forecast and say, okay, I might now need. So if I was producing 3 in a week before, let me produce 10 first. And then when I produce that 10, how am I able to market it? I'm now stuck with 7 more pairs of shoes in my warehouse that need to go out. That's actually the kind of mindset that I want to inculcate. The mindset of a leather business rather than just a leather hobbyist. A hobbyist can simply be, someone who, okay, you want to make Chelsea boots. I can make Chelsea boots. You pay me 50K, I make the Chelsea boots for you. And that's it. But when I have 3 Chelsea boots that I have to advertise for to be able to sell them, then if I'm doing it in a smart way, I'm not overexposing myself financial wise. So I've not gone to buy a Chelsea boot making line machine just because I had a brainwave about automation. And I think that's something that is very, very important for people to take note of. So, we've shown you the whole array of options that are available. You've seen Ogayasko came here yesterday and showed us the machines that they use in Italy to produce for Gucci. So if, for instance, you hit jackpots tomorrow and that's where you want to go, by all means do it, but take D&L's advice and be circumspect about how you are doing it. However, if you also now want to be able to take things one step at a time, you don't have to go for that machine. You could go for these other less cost-intensive options that you can actually have produced. My dream really is to see many Nigerian, even the roadside shoemakers, have these little things that make their life easier in their workshops. When that becomes the new normal for the Nigerian shoemaker, then we can now go to the next step. I believe that that is how the industry should be going. Kevin, I was going to come to you and the network took you away again. So let me run through. D&L, do you have anything more to add? Otherwise, we'll quickly run through the questions and answers that we are seeing here and see if that will be it for this evening. Gentlemen, if you have, I always say gentlemen, in the legal profession, all of us are gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, just throw it in. Someone here says, greetings, viewers. Someone says they agree with me. Thank you for agreeing with me. Okay, if that's all of the questions, then I guess we could begin to wrap up for this evening. D&L, how is Abuja today? Hey, I'm seeing Lovett Obujo. I think she has a YouTube channel. How are you, Lovett? If you can put your YouTube channel in the comments, we'll be happy to, give you a shout out. Hello, Obuji. Yeah. Okay, do you have anything else to add about at least the parts about a mindset shift from just being a hobbyist to being a proper leather business. I know that you do a lot of hand things. I'm happy to hear that you are going the machine route these days. Or you have any last words or
um,
yeah.
for the part of transiting from hobby to profits, I was able to like learn from D and L, where she was talking about understanding your customers to know what they want,
Yeah,
and also um, profit is not workmanship. That's one thing that the mistake is there.
yeah,
Very well. So that's one thing I really like. Okay, this is really interesting to learn that profit is not workmanship.
yeah.
And also other pricing and costing, how to cost very well and do the pricing and value yourself. Because I learned that one the hard way myself, how to like when your friends and your family will come place order for you that do this for me and you give them the price and they'll be like, for this thing. So but you have to stand your ground and say, no, this is my price, this is what I'm working with for them to value what you're doing. I also like that line she said. And
Excellent.
know your
You know,
clients, the clients you're
yes,
working,
please.
they are making your goods for, so that you know where to market yourself properly. Those are the things I picked out from the other part of the session, and it was very interesting.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just to I'll give D and L. I'll let you at least just at least as your last words chip in on some of those points that you made. But for me, something that you said that struck a serious chord for me was always ask why. You know, somebody can tell you, I want this, what, this is what I want, that is what I want, that is what I want. You really just don't start getting the full picture of what it is that that person wants until you ask the person, okay, why do you want it? That may really, really give you the full picture. So, yeah, and the illustration that she gave of the person says, I want this with a soft soul because and you didn't ask that why? And then you go and make it with one very hard soul. Everybody else will be hailing you that you have made a very lovely footwear. Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
customer for whom you made it doesn't agree. So, D&L, thank you very, very much for that. You want to touch on some of those points again so that with that we can begin to round off. We've been here for almost 40 minutes now, and I think it's a good place to. Today is Friday. People like to have fun on their Friday. But DNL, maybe that will be your last words, and then we'll begin to round up
Yeah.
for today.
All right. Thank you very much. Footwear. I like the way you spelled your footwear. That's innovative. That's very
Thank
nice.
you.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
speak with you. And
You
okay,
too.
I'm going to say some things. Thank you. I'm going to say some things. And I don't know if it's part of what we are talking on or dealing with. But I know we're going to deal with social media. That'll be tomorrow, right? Or
Yes,
next?
please. Yeah,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. All right. So I'm going to start with what I just commented on now. When you're trying to make yourself relevant, like you want to move from a hobby to a business, uh, I call it moving from a hobby to a brand, because moving from a hobby to a business is just like moving from what you do regularly to what everybody else does. You are going to move, but you're not going to really scale. Okay, a brand is always scalable. Okay, innovative, meaning that you're not doing what everybody else is doing. So people, let me give an example. People who graduate from school and they move into they have their NYC and all of that, they will not say we're all moving into what labor market, right? Okay, so we're
Yeah.
moving into labor market. So if you're moving from a hobby to a business, it means you are moving from what you do in your private to what everybody generally does, and that's not going to make you go far. What's going to make you go far is moving
Okay.
from a hobby to a brand. All right. So, and the first thing that you do as a brand is to get a brand name. Like I said, remember that was what I said. The first thing I said that I did was to give my business a name that everybody can pronounce, a name that is interesting. Now, all three names I'm looking at on this screen right now are all interesting names. The first thing, when someone sees Pomo, every Nigerian can pronounce Pomo. It's just that many people did not really know that that's how it was being spelled, but it's Pomo. Pomo bespoke. When you just say Pomo, as in, you just want to know what this thing is about. And you know that it's not about actual Pomo, but it's sure about the Pomo that is processed. Okay. So, and people are like taking interest that who is this person? It creates curiosity in your audience. That's the first thing because they address you by that. All right. Now, you footwear leather craft, like footwear, everyone will be thinking it's just normal FOOT, but we're looking at FUT. Like, but we shall know that when we pronounce it, it's coming out as footwear still.
Yeah.
Now, media and El Africa.
Yes.
All right. The reason why I'm saying this is because most of the names that people actually remember are names that they can pronounce. For example, the big brands out there, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton and all of that. These are simple names. Kilimanjaro, Chicken Republic, simple names that people can actually pronounce. But I go to Instagram and I see some people brand name. Because your name is Chukwuemeka does not mean your brand name has to be Chukwuemeka Shoe. Do you get? Like, you can pick up names that actually explain something that give off some kind of interesting vibe. So that's number one. Your name is what people are going to address you as. So you have to pick up a name that's going to give your brand name some kind of volume, right? Just like when people see me on Instagram, they're like, the shoe architect. It gives a lot of meaning to it. So apart from your name, you can actually have like a nickname or something that's going to help your business grow. So coming to all the points that I put out there about giving yourself value, knowing your customers, knowing your clients. Clients are always going to come back to become customers to people who actually treat them well. So just always treat your customers well. You have to have some core values, some qualities that are going to make your customers feel at home around you. Like, if you're a very strict person, it doesn't mean that when you're dealing with your customers, you have to be really strict. You can be a little bit flexible. Customer is king, all right? Your customers, your clients, they are coming around you. They want this, they want that. Always be the kind of person who listens to them. So if you don't listen to them, you cannot carry out the point of interpreting what your customer wants. You have to be able to listen to your customer. Your customer calls you, hello, I need so and so, I need this and this. You don't have to be forcing them and saying, ma, no, this thing is not possible. It's not achievable. No, ma, this is not how they do it. No. Calm down and listen. Most of these customers, they have creative minds. Before they come to meet you, they have already imagined themselves wearing that thing. They have bought full gauge. Some of them, they have bought the up, they have bought the down. It's just the shoe that is remaining. They just want you to just produce it. Then there's also another thing that people do that is a problem. When a customer insists that there's a picture that they want, a picture of something they want in their mind. I'm going to close with this. There's a picture of something they want in their mind. You know fully well that picture is not achievable. Or you know fully well that material is not available in the market. You know that material is not available in the market. You know it's not achievable. You know that thing is not Nigeria. They made that thing. But you will say, can you do it? Yes, sir. I can do it. Then they will not come and drag you on social media. There was one guy that they were dragging all over social media that he produced boots for one woman's child and hair, stuff like that. And you see the boots are beautiful boots. But the problem is that he agreed that he can make something that was not what the person ordered. Why? You broke the customer's heart. I felt for the woman because she asked him, can you do this? He said, yes, I can do this. And at the end of the day, he didn't do what she wanted. So this brings me to three things I'm going to talk about on this very point here. The three things I'm going to talk about. Number one, stop posting pictures that you did not produce. Don't post out a picture that you are not the one that produced it. If somebody says, send me samples of your products, send them samples of what you did. If someone says, okay, can you give me other options? You can now send them samples of other options. And I say, okay, these things, I didn't do them, but it might be possible. Then there's another thing again, which is when a customer sends you a picture of a footwear, I know that this customer wants a very high quality. And the quality of the material in that footwear is fiance. Don't go and give the person maybe fiance or normal, ordinary chemical leather. Don't go and give the person that chemical leather just because that is what is in the picture. That is your place. That's not your place as a professional. That's what they now call effective communication. It's your place as a
Yeah.
professional to now speak with the client and say, okay, can I advise you professionally? You see this leather in this picture. This is called chemical leather. This is not going to last so and so. After explaining, you will find out that they will say, no, 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 I want it to last. Oh. No, 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 no. I want it to be so and so. Some people say, no, I don't want it to last. I just want it to be that color. It has to be that design, that color, that leather. Get that exactly. You now say, okay, it's possible. Or you see, you now say, okay, ma, this solo is not available in the market now, but there's a sole I can recommend for you. It will still look as good as this, but it's not going to come out the same way this is. After explaining to my customer, there are some customers that after explaining, they'll say, no, if it does not come out exactly like that, leave it. I want exactly what's in that picture. And end of story, everybody is happy. Thank you very much for patronizing DNL Africa. We hope you are satisfied. End of story, you go your way, I go my way. No dragging is involved. Then some people say, okay, no problem. I just want a shoe to wear. Just produce. I trust your expertise. Produce what's going to be good. So when you finish producing it, it's not going to look exactly as the picture, but you have explained to them that you see this thing is not possible. Then the last thing, in a case where you have agreed that this thing might be available in the market, you now get to the market, is not now what available. Carry video call your customer. Excuse me, ma.
Exactly.
You see this thing? This is the color I saw in the market. Take them to the market. Some of them can be very troublesome, but look, these are the things you have to go through so that you can effectively communicate what your customer will. Look, at the end of the day, you see that customer will come back to you. So that's it. With these few points of mine, I hope
Yeah, we hope you're able to convince
and not confuse you.
always D&L is always bubbling and effervescent. Thank you so very much. Couple of things that she said. This is the age of social media. In fact, she delved into what we are going to talk about tomorrow. Quite some tips that she gave on effectively utilizing social media. Communicate with your customer. Customer is king, and don't how do they say it? No, do pass yourself. All right. So I personally will never post work that I didn't create. Of course, in private chat with a customer, I can send you stuff that I didn't do and ask you to consider. But as a person, I'm too proud as a shoemaker to say that I will make exactly what Gucci made. Who is Gucci? You see, I am too proud as a person for you to tell me to make it exactly the way. I'll make it better. That's what I think, and that's how I operate. So if you are that kind of person that says, look, you want it to be exactly like, you're not my customer, you're not the type of people that I actually want to work with. I actually work with people who have a much more refined taste. But everyone is not me. Everyone is not there. So I guess the underlying point that we've been trying to make is no, do pass yourself. Don't pass off yourself for what you're not. And then this is social media. It is actually a crime. It is actually illegal to post work done by someone else as your own. Whether you are saying that you are posting it as sample, if it is sample, make your own and post that your own as sample. It's actually a crime. I'm a lawyer, I can tell you. It's just that the people don't have your time yet, right? The day you start getting big enough, imagine that let's say Techno takes an iPhone and say, this is the phone, this is a Techno phone. Then when you ask them, they say, no, we posted it as a sample. We posted it just to show that we can make it. If you can make it, go and make your own. So I see a lot of people do that. That is something that we need to really, really correct. It sounds controversial. When I say it, some people give me the big stick, but that's what it is. That's what the law is. But this is not a law class. So let me see if there are any other questions. Someone here said that she's missed out all of the sessions from 2 days ago. Yeah, all of the videos are online. Just check on the channel, you'd see all of the videos. Mama they say more. um you see all of the videos. Obuji Lovett said, D&L, you have a valid point. Video calls have saved me a lot and have got referrals from, yeah. So yeah, effective communication it's always good to have good character. And it is good character to tell your clients, look, they say they. Can we do something else? Or I gave the instance of me making a mistake about what the customer ordered, and immediately the guy told me, the customer rejected it. I didn't even argue with him at all. I simply just had the money sent back to them. And this thing about no return policies, this is not a sales pitch class, but have good character and be on time. I see that the network has bounced all of our facilitators out. Okay, I think D&L is back on the stream. So I see, yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I think at this point we're going to be rounding up in preparation for the class on social media. We hope that tomorrow's class will probably be a little earlier than it typically is. Tomorrow is a Saturday, so I guess people will be a little bit more rested. And then we can start quite a little bit more early. So around about 7-ish or thereabouts, we would have the session for tomorrow. D&L, on short notice, you're here again. I'd like to say thank you very much. And as always, thank you. And as always, 20 people are still here on the live stream with us, even chasing the 1 hour mark. I planned that this was going to be a quick 30-minute session, but with all of the interventions, it has gotten to close to 1 hour. Thank you guys very, very much. Lovett Obuji, I see you. Thank you very much for coming online. Shalom Peter Gebe, he's also a YouTuber. You guys show him some love if you've not already done that. He's been here with us for the 3 days that we've been here. Shalom. Thank you so very much. Mama de say more, your interventions have been very, very helpful. So everyone, get good night's rest. I know it's Friday. Some of you want to go and thank God that it's Friday. I thank God that it's every day of the week. God bless you. See you tomorrow. And have a lovely, lovely time. Peace. Thank you.